please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We have the next item is approval of the minutes from the May 11th regular meeting. We've had a chance to take a look at these. Anybody have any questions? Is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearspaugh?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And we have next the fiscal officer's report. Linda?
Just a couple things. I know you guys have got a copy of the tax budget. We're going to give you plenty of time to look at it. We won't adopt it to the second meeting in June. I'm going to be gone the first meeting in June, and I think Stacy's going to come into my place for that meeting. But I just want to reiterate that the whole purpose of the tax budget is just to show the board, I struggle with this every time, the Budget Commission, that we do need the money for the inside millage, and we do need to collect the fire and police levies. That's the whole purpose of the tax budget. So the expenditures is something I put together, and this is not the one that Jack will be presenting with you at the end of the year. But if you've got questions, don't hesitate to ask.
All right. Anything else?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have the current bills. Again, we have had a chance to take a look at these. Anybody have any questions? Is there a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearspaugh?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And we have resolution 4693, a resolution amending permanent appropriations with supplementals. Just moving stuff around into the general fund and EMS grant.
Yeah, there was money in the certificate in the EMS grant portion which was not appropriated, but the chief has expenses he wants to take out of there. The other part is it's putting back into, or it will allow the transfer out to the police, fire, and road funds their portion of the investments that sit in the general fund.
Right. Okay, so a motion, anybody have any questions about 4693? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearspaugh?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And we have resolution 4694, a resolution approving the transfer of funds from the general fund and other funds to the amounts equal to the investment income generated by those funds over the last 2 quarters. Just what Jack just said.
Yeah.
Only a little quicker. Is there a motion to approve 4694?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearspaugh?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Anything else?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Unfinished business, anybody have any unfinished things they would like to talk about? Okay. New business administration, anything new? Nothing to fill in?
No items for the agenda.
Okay. Police district, we have resolution 46, and we don't have a number.
95.
95, we're gonna do that. 95, resolution accepting a donation from Lebanon Correctional Institute for Clearcreek Township Police Department.
LCI has donated $500 towards Safety Town to purchase specifically for buying T-shirts for children.
Okay.
I'd ask them to allow us to accept that.
Is there a motion to approve 4695?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearspaugh?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And then we have 4696, a resolution accepting a donation from LCNB for the Clearcreek Township Police Department.
We're getting close to National Night Out, so some of those donations will probably start rolling in. This is $100 donated by LCNB Bank to go toward National Night Out, some of the expenses of that. I'd ask the board to allow us to accept that.
Okay, so a motion to approve 4696.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearspaugh?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And we have a grant submission recommendation for the Department of Justice DOJ Bulletproof Vest Partnership.
It's a grant we ask for every year. They pay a 50% amount of any vest that we need to buy, bulletproof vests, so we just match it with 50%. We need to usually buy a couple every year anyway, so as part of the replacement rotation. So again, that grant's available, and I'd ask people to be allowed to apply for that grant.
Awesome. Okay, is there a motion to allow the chief to apply for this bulletproof vest grant to the Department of Justice?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And we have the Ohio Traffic Safety Office Traffic Safety Grant Program.
We've been able to get that grant for the last 3 or 4 years. I think last year we got in the 40s, I believe,
I
for
think it's high 30s.
37 maybe, something like that. It was close to 40. It's a unique grant. It not only pays for the officer's salary, it also pays for some of the benefits, and it has some built-in for some fuel costs, things like that. So it really doesn't cost us anything to back in some of the officer's benefits out of that. So it allows us to do some directed patrol toward some of the speeding areas in the township. Unfortunately, the way you qualify for it is you have to have fatalities, and we've had our fair share of those. So again, we're eligible to seek that, so I'd ask the board allow us to go ahead and apply for that grant again this year.
Mr. Wade, I will tell you that this grant, we get audited on this grant every year. And we always, Wally's in charge of that, and we always pass it with flying colors.
Excellent. Is there a motion to approve the chief applying for this OTSO grant?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And we have a hiring process recommendation, approval to approve the hiring process for a full-time police officer. Chief?
The police department would like to add 1 full-time police officer. It's in our budget for this year. It was in there in the beginning of the year. So we'd like to create an eligibility list to do that. So to ask the board to allow us to begin that process, create the eligibility list to pick a candidate for that.
Okay.
Just to further clarify, these hours are currently filled by part-time officers, so it's just moving from a part-time staffing to a full-time staffing, so it's not actually adding more patrol officers to the rotation.
It enables us also to free up some part-time to fill in for vacation and some of the other things that we have. It takes us 1.5 part-time officers to fill a full-time slot, because they can only work 28 hours a week, and the officers work a 42.5-hour week. So it burns up our part-time hours in doing that. So it allows us to free up some of that to use elsewhere. So.
And as the chief and I have talked about it, if so allowed, we're going to look to the part-time staff first. We're not going to go out and try and bring somebody in new. We have several young part-timers that we would expect they're going to be looking to move on because they want to be full-time at some point. So we're going to look to the part-timers and would expect one of those to be the candidate selected.
Correct. So you have some young guys that you're pretty happy with?
Yeah, we've got 5 part-time officers. A couple of them are committed to full-time jobs too. 3 of them have expressed wishes to test for this. But we test our part-time exactly like we do our full-time. We vet them just the same way. So we wouldn't have them if they weren't qualified to be a full-time officer here to start with. So maybe those candidates would be a great candidate for us.
The real extra expense here is the benefits that we do sell on the full-time.
So if we move a part-time up, we won't replace that part-time position?
As far as what the chief and I have talked, we rotate 14 slots through. And so this would add that 14th full-time person, and we have 5 part-timers now. So the sweet spot seems to be 14 full-time and 4 part-time.
Okay, good.
So we would want to stick with 4 part-timers. Now, the downside is
Assuming
we would expect one of those other part-timers may choose to move on if they don't get the job. But it seems that 4 part-timers would be the best fit for keeping enough hours, but enough coverage for those.
So right now we have 13 full-time and 5 part-time, and we want to go to 14 full-time and 4 part-time.
Right.
Okay.
we just have to know the problem, but likely we'll, after this process for the full-time, we're gonna have to start the process for another part-time.
Through the recession, no police departments are testing, but right now everybody's testing. We've got, I know at least one of our guys is tested. He's 2nd place in the sheriff's department right now.
Oh, is he?
So the chances are we may lose some of our part-time because it seems like every police department's testing right now with the economy rolling back around and people are starting to restaff. So
Welcome to the life of the fire department. Train them well, they leave. Okay. Anybody have any other questions for the chief about this? Okay, so motion to approve the hiring process for another full-time police officer.
Move.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. Anything else, Chief?
No, sir.
Real quick, Mr. Wade. Safety Town was front and center on the Borough E-News last week. Really nice article done. Glad to see we're communicating better with the school district. All the emails the parents get in our community, that's the one they usually read from top to bottom, so it was very well done. And
Yeah, the response from the parents and the emails were good and they're tremendous. Friday, we had like 110. I said if we got 100, I would call it a success. We're already past the 100 mark, so
yeah, it works.
shoot for 150 now. We'll see if we can get there. So, but good.
Sounds great.
Awesome. Fire District, Chief Kidd, how are you?
Wonderful. How about yourself?
Good, good. I think we have an orientation recommendation for Matthew Walker as a permanent full-time firefighter paramedic. And then I know we can look, and also the same for Brian Likens, and then Justin Knoll as a permanent full-time lieutenant, step 2. Okay, now I know we have to take these all in separate motions.
You just want to enjoy each other's company that much more.
You're gonna have to come up with a better line than that.
Fair enough.
But nice try.
The day after Memorial Day.
Okay, is there a motion to accept Matthew Walker as a permanent full-time firefighter paramedic with the appropriate pay change?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And Brian Likens as a permanent full-time firefighter paramedic, also with the appropriate pay increase.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And Justin Knoll as a permanent full-time lieutenant, step 2, with the appropriate pay increase.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay.
Oh, he gets it back.
We have a step increase for firefighter paramedic Barry Eaton from step 3 to step 4. So motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And it's also a step increase for Kyle Leylich from step 3 to step 4.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And then a step increase for Matthew Leylich from step 3 to step 4.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And a step increase for Ross Moffett from 3 to 4.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And Peter Richardson from step 3 to step 4.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Levi Sargent from step 3 to step 4.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay.
Hey.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Adam,
Sorry, sorry.
Note that.
Adam Stafford from step 3 to step 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And Michael Toothman from step 3 to step 4.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Okay. Move right to-
I blame Brian for that one.
I think we all do. That's right. Okay, and we have a request to extend the orientation period for Lieutenant Samuel Long up to 1 year.
He has some of his probationary requirements that were not met education-wise,
Okay.
and we could either bump him back to firefighter, start our process all over again with trying to train someone else, or just let him pick up the pieces that he's missing.
And obviously, you think he's worth
I think
picking up the
he's,
pieces.
yeah. So we'll give him a little more time to complete those items, and we should be successful.
Just out of curiosity, I read this, Chief. We had 1 year to start with, correct?
Correct.
And help me understand how he was gonna get an associate's degree accomplished in that 1 year. Had he already started it, or?
He had some of it already accomplished,
Okay.
and he failed on 2 credit hours that he needed. He needed to take a medical terminology course. It's the only thing missing. And he did not notice or realize that it was within his degree plan
Okay.
to get that. He got to the end, thought he was finished, called the school and said, hey, I haven't got my stuff yet. And they're like, well, you've got to do this one more course.
Ouch.
I was just trying to piece that together, going, I thought this was a 1 year, and usually a 2-year program, so.
Right. It's
Okay.
a 2-year program, and he had many credits before.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
That's good, okay. Is there a motion to extend Lieutenant Sam Long's orientation period for up to 1 year?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And we have purchase recommendation, EMS training equipment for Ballantree Medical Supplies, 2697.
That's the funds that we just had the appropriation on. I'll just send Mrs. Oda a PO request so we can spend those. It's grant money for the most part.
And so motion to approve this purchase of training equipment.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And we need some stabilizer bars on engine 23.
Originally, this repair was anticipated to cost less than $1,500, but the bushings that support the cab went from $200 a piece to $1,500 a piece. So,
Makes a difference.
huge difference.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the repair for engine 23?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. Anything else, Chief?
More than enough today, sir.
Zoning Department, Jeff?
Yes, sir. Resolution 4697 is a nuisance for repeat offender at 133 East Lotto 5 Points. This was a vacant property and now has a new owner, but it's still not being maintained. So we'll see if we can prompt them to get in action.
Good night, work. Okay. Okay, so a motion to approve 4697.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And we also have 4698, another nuisance.
Yeah, this is for 555 High Point Drive. This is our habitual front property issue that we get into every year. So we're being preemptive and trying to get it resolved before I get all the complaints.
Are you here from all friends and neighbors?
Yes, there was a transition in the neighborhood, so I'm not sure if they know my number yet or not. So
They'll find it.
they'll find it for sure.
Is there a motion to approve 4698?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And 4699, also a nuisance.
Yeah, this is for 9079 Bunnell Hill Road. This is actually for the rear of the property more than the front. Getting complaints from Brookside of animals that are residing on this site. So trying to.
Animals, like farmers, I guess, is what the.
Yeah, there's discussion of raccoons, snakes, and an anthill, which I'm not sure how to track an anthill, but it is high grass, so I'll see what I can do to help out the city.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve 4699?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And I guess we're at 4700, huh?
Yeah, then the final one is Lot 10 of Welsh Woods. This is the corner of Pennyroyal and 741. So it needs to be mowed so people can see across the intersection of Woodville.
I think they mowed it Friday.
And it's awesome. So,
Is there a motion to approve 4700?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And anything else, Jeff?
nothing this time, sir.
Road Department, recommendation to hire seasonal personnel, Michael Dooney. I'm gonna say that, I don't know if that's right.
That's,
Close.
that's correct. Just trying to keep up. Normally we have 5 every year. This year we're only gonna do 4 in hopes that we'll get a part-timer here shortly. So I'd request to hire Michael Dooning at $9 an hour, and I believe he might start as early as tomorrow.
Okay. Is there a motion to hire Mr. Dooney?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And we have a purchase recommendations, it's curb cut and replacement time. Same company I saw.
Yes, sir. We're having trouble getting other companies to come in, even want to take part. Either our projects are a little bit too big for the small guys or too small for the big guys, and we're just kind of right in between. And ADC Concrete, when we have got other bids, is always blowing them away with their prices. And they did the firehouse work last year. Hopefully they'll do the curb work for us out here when we get this project going. So
Good.
they do good work.
Okay. So a motion to approve this purchase and do the curb work.
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Petersbaugh?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. Anything else, Scott?
No, sir.
Okay, anything under staff reports?
I just have a couple things to offer. We are going to interview, there's 2 part-timers for that, the park position Scott mentioned. We're gonna interview 2 folks this Friday, so hopefully one of those works out. Couple interesting drainage issues going on that we're dealing with, just as an FYI. They involve downhill folks or something that was put in, and who regulates it and who has the authority to push to have something done.
Where are they?
One is Clearcreek Stables, which is, what road is that it's draining onto?
Sycamore Trail.
Sycamore Trails. That one is interesting because they built a second barn and it's offering a lot of sheet flow, and there was a pipe put in that
What did he say?
expels prior to the sidewalk.
Comes with horses.
Okay.
So we're working with the engineer's office, and Brian's been involved in that, and the prosecutor, to see who's got the authority or ability to push for something to happen. The other one is on Larkspur, which I won't offer too much detail because it gets more complicated as you unravel it, but there's the guy on the corner of Larkspur is catching all of the water eventually, and it doesn't seem to have been put in the way it was supposed to when that was all platted out, but I'm not sure who has the ability again to force something to happen after the fact. So just 'tis the season for the drainage issues to pop up.
Have the bonds already been released? Just been this pretty old, is it? I mean,
This was 97 drawings. The lots that would be impacted, other than the guy on the corner, are actually not built out. They're all unbuilt lots.
Oh, you might.
Bob Abernathy owns 3 of the 4 that are involved, so probably have a conversation with him. And
Over the years, we've had a couple of those same type things with Bob. I can't remember the street, but one on the north side up here. And he was pretty amenable to fixing them.
yeah, well, this shows some things on the drawings that weren't done. So, but who has the ability to force the action is kind of where we're sitting right now. But I haven't talked to him, so that's to come.
In the past, I think we used the county engineer was able to come step in because somehow that got by them, that they didn't, anyway, they were the ones who picked up that the last time. Now, whether it'll be this time or not, I don't know.
Yeah, Water and Soil has come out and looked at it
Oh,
with
yeah.
us, and
Bond soil, and then something should go, probably go back to him like that.
yeah.
Sometime, at least get him involved, if it'll make Bob at least take notice.
Yeah, well,
You guys know Bob, have you met Bob yet?
I did meet Bob, yes.
He's a good guy, I mean, he's done some nice developments here, but he'll work you the best he can work.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
He's a good, yeah.
June 22nd, I will not be here. I'll be out of town, just as an FYI. And that's, since Linda won't be here the first meeting in June, the second meeting in June seemed a better time to do the tax budget since that's her document. But just as an FYI, I'll be out of town that meeting.
Okay. All right. I was gonna mention to you, Jack was working on a street light that was out on the corner of Innsbrook and Lyle Road. They got that taken care of, but I wanted to point out, did you notice the shield on the side of that?
No.
Brought back old memories. When we put that, way back when we first put those street lights in out there, and that's been a long time ago, the 2 neighbors on the corner absolutely threw a fit because we put that street light there, because it shined in their bedroom windows. Yeah. So Dennis was able to, without the approval of CG&E at the time, there's a shield on that hangs down. And you got the road department, we had an old bucket truck back then, and you got the road department go out there and make this metal shield so it blocks it, reflects towards the road. Now,
Did they put it back up with that on it?
it's still there, that's what I looked to make sure that they didn't take that down, and they did not.
Yeah,
So-
well, they had to put a new light in. It usually takes about a week when you go through the reporting thing, but
This
it
was
was
a
about
whole
a month.
facility, then, a whole new light, not just a bulb.
You know, I don't know what part is new.
Okay.
I contacted the Duke guy because it was about a month and it
Well, the
still wasn't
shield's there,
fixed.
so-
And he said they put a new one up.
Okay.
I don't know what new means, but
Well, they
it
left the
sounded like a
shield,
new
so
head.
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Good for them. I was waiting to hear, that they, I was afraid they were gonna take it down.
Yeah.
And I know we had heard from those people.
Yeah.
No big deal. But a good story, that's been 25 years probably, or longer. Okay. Any other staff updates, or anybody have any comments?
I have one quick one. And I'm gonna put this with you and then you can take it to them. Have any of your officers mentioned, when you, and Steve may have noticed this better than anybody else, when you're sitting at Red Line 5 and lower, going south, if you look to the east, you can't see anything. We know that's a very scary intersection anyway, but those trees have not been trimmed back, and obviously they're full of leaf now, so they're hanging down. I'm just, you know, we got a week left of school. That's the time of day it's the most used, but it's very, very hard to see anybody coming from Ridgeville. I don't know where we go with that, if we go to the engineers or who, because that's not our road, but,
No, I have to inch up the sea, so I know what you're talking about, but
yeah.
I don't know who would have authority to cut it, so we can talk about it.
Yeah, I'm looking at Scott at the moment.
I figured this would be a full ping pong.
I think we've gone through the channels and not got much help, so we've kind of gone out and done it on our own, but
Have you ever trimmed that particular tree or area?
we trim a lot of state roads and everything to help our residents coming off of our roads. If it's in the township, even though they're not our roads, we've just done it for the residents without going through the hassle of dealing with county or state, so we'll take a look at it and see. But our brush mower is currently down, so
This would be a,
whole saw,
yeah, most likely.
we'll take a look at it.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Anything else?
I wanted to share, I saw the report from US News and World Report ranking our township high schools, all three in the top 100 of the state out of, I think, about 800 and some. And just kind of speaks to our community.
Nice one.
And I know there's lots of surveys, but
Saw this too, Steve, and I was impressed as well. A little disappointed that my Panthers were third of the three, but it's all good.
one thing that gave it some credibility, I saw a footnote, the class of 11 in 1972 was ranked most attractive.
Is that right?
Where did you go to school?
Fantastic.
Steve?
11.
What year did you graduate?
What year? 72.
Oh,
Most fertilizer.
I'll put that in a minute.
I'm not right.
Very good. That's always good to see. Just as the township's ranked highly often, and the city of Springboard's a pretty fortunate area. Anything else? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yeah.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Thank you.